Joe from Seattle says, show the Elon getting booed clip. Well, your wish is my command. Joe from Seattle. Yeah, this is great. So I guess Elon Musk showed up at Dave Chappelle's show last night. Chappelle invited him, which...
On stage.
I mean, I could see it going two ways. Chappelle being like, this is my boy, I'm going to bring him out, which would be depressing. Or it could have been like, well, let's just see how this goes.
You think Chappelle? Yeah, I personally am pretty cynical about Chappelle.
Well,
days, so.
I guess I'm still holding on to like one
gone.
slimmer of hope and self-awareness. Yeah,
he's basically Adam Carolla with slightly better chops.
Yikes! That is as damning as it gets, but accurate. So here he is, brought on stage by Dave Chappelle, and it did not go well for Elon Musk. The crowd responded poorly.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the richest man in the world.
Can I stop you there? What?
Yeah.
What is that happening?
Immediately contradicts any kind of like positive thought I might have had about Chappelle there. Screw that.
We're just thinking like, when is that cool to do? Like in like 2016, you'd be like, richest man in the world, Carlos Slim. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I came here to see comedy, not rich people.
I know. And I mean, I still feel like it just... If you're a comedian, and especially the kind of comedy that Chappelle has done throughout his life, like, this is so sycophantic and, like, embarrassing for him. Why does he want to be a beta here? All right.
Because he's a rich guy.
I guess. My hero. Got some loud booing.
Some clappers. Some whistling.
Cheers and booze, I see.
That's generous.
Cheers and booze, I see.
Elon.
Damn.
Weren't expecting this, were you?
Why?
It sounds like some of the people you fired in the audience.
Let's just stop there. So
like-
again, like, people don't understand, like, things can make you laugh that shouldn't make you laugh, but you should also, like, look back and say, like, comedy doesn't just tell you about the world, it tells you about yourself and how you're reacting to that. So, like, like this joke of, it looks like there's a bunch of people you fired. That is, like, that's hard.
Because a lot of people
to
lost
relate
their
to.
jobs, right?
Well, like, and that's from somebody, like, I don't know how you relate to that joke, except, like, you fired people before. And most people haven't done that.
Yeah. Guess this is not a crowd of small business owners, am I right?
And I'll also just say, the cheapest tickets for the... I can't tell what was in Chase Center in Oakland, right? Oakland, that's where, or is it in San Francisco?
San Francisco?
But I can look at the tickets for tonight at the Sacramento show on Monday. So it's in Sacramento versus San Francisco, and it's in Monday night as opposed to Sunday. So I imagine that the tickets were more expensive for this night here. But tonight, if you wanted to see Dave Chappelle, the cheapest ticket you could have, I don't know if you could pull this up, Bradley, is in section 216, and it is $176. So
probably double it for San Francisco.
Wherever this guy's sitting from recording this is probably paying like $250 for this ticket. So and Chappelle comes in saying, you have bad seats. Bro, I paid $170
to see you
from this far away.
Yeah.
If you just want to pull it over, Bradley, pull it on top. This one? Yeah. This is what that $176 seat will look like tonight in Sacramento. There'll be people there, but that's $176, and that's what you get.
No, but I mean, these are. I'm not gonna try to like make an assumption about everyone in that crowd, but we're talking San Francisco, people who can afford hundreds of dollars to see Dave Chappelle. I'd imagine that they have some friends that were actually fired by Elon Musk, because these are like upper middle class to upper class tech workers in that audience. Some of them.
And what's surprising about this is like Elon is sort of surprised by this, and like on one sense that he shouldn't be, but on another sense, like these are people who paid multiple Benjamins to see a guy who is transphobic, and like he's a historically good comedian. So like I understand that, but like these people are. What I'm trying to say is these people are self-selecting for. They should be kind of okay with what Elon's doing, right?
Well,
they're willing to overlook all the Chappelle stuff enough to like pay that much money to the guy. You'd think they'd be maybe 50-50 on what they're going to feel about Elon, but they're not.
No.
It's just interesting that
Your mic's not on. So it's just the idea that I still do think that there might be some solidarity with like tech workers fired by Elon Musk, because these guys are probably in the
there's more workers than owners.
There's more workers than owners. They're not, minimum wage workers, but they're still workers, and there's still an understanding that this guy is like is a disruptor, but he's disrupting people's lives and also ruining this major platform.
And like an analog for this is like, what if like Lenny Bruce or George Carlin or Richard Pryor were like doing a set recording or something? We're just like, let's hear it for Nelson Rockefeller.
Yeah, no,
like let's hear
George
it for
Carlin was like, it's a big club and you're not in it, and then Dave Chappelle's up there and saying it's the richest guy in the world. Isn't everybody hard in the audience?
And they're not really having a plan. Like, what was the plan? Everyone's gonna be like, yes,
Elon.
Like,
yeah.
What was what were you expecting?
I don't know. I mean, it just you just see who Chappelle feels like he has a connection with at this point in his life. The solidarity with this kind of guy, as opposed to the workers who he fired.
Hey, wait a minute. Those of you booing.
You say don't be.
A lot of you doing.
Tough on the head, like it sounds like. But you know there's one thing. All those people are booing, and I'm just pointing out the obvious.
Oh, yeah.
You have terrible seats. I understand.
There it is. All these people booing, they have terrible seats.
All coming from way up there, niggas from last minute. Now I'm playing the niggas boo.
Wow.
Right? I mean, what is this comedy? This is like supposedly one of the greatest comedians. People say like he's still the greatest comedian of all time. I've seen him live. I didn't pay for the tickets. At the same night, Chappelle and Kevin Hart played in it. I think, or Chris Rock, and Chris Rock is funnier than Chappelle. But anyway,
Yes.
That's very revealing of Dave Chappelle's psychology. Like all of you in the upper deck, they're the ones booing, and not the people that actually paid like me like thousands of dollars to see me bring a rich guy on stage and smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, Elon and I would have the first lifeboats off of the Titanic. All of you would die.
He sort of goes there, actually.
All right, let's go.
Listen. Whatever. Look, motherfucker. This nigga is not even trying to die on earth. His whole business model is fuck earth. I'm leaving anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Do all you want. Take me with you, nigga. I'm going to Mars. Whatever kind of pussy they got up there, that's what we'll be doing. Anti-gravity titty bars. Follow your dreams, bitch, and the money just flow all over the room.
You stop there. For people who didn't hear what he said there, he said anti-gravity titty bars. You throw your money and it just floats away. The closest thing he's gotten to a joke in this entire time that Musk is out there. But also like another one that glorifies this guy. Like you're buying into this mythology. Like he's not going to Mars, bro.
Yeah, he's gonna go to another planet. He's so smart.
He can't even dig tunnels like he says again.
I mean, it's just somebody who he probably smoked pot with on the Joe Rogan Experience, and this is like the extent of, his curiosity about the world at this point.
Yeah. I don't want to get into the Guillermo del Toro thing, but there's an episode of the new show on Netflix, the Cabinet of Curiosities, where they meet a rich guy, and it reminds me of what Elon when he invites like Joe Rogan and Chappelle around. But let's play a little bit more, Bradley.
I wouldn't miss this opportunity. The first comedy club on Mars, that should be mine.
Ain't happening.
A deal's a deal, Musk. You niggas can move what you want. This nigga gave me a jetpack last Christmas.
So the joke is, I'm getting something out of this, even though you guys don't like it.
Yeah, but that's what's so insane, right? You would think that with his decades of experience in comedy, that he'd see the way that the crowd is reacting to him, and he'd be like, "Yeah, you piss some people the fuck off, like lean into it and roast him on stage in front of people."
This is resignation.
But he understands, like, oh no, I have to play patty cakes with this guy.
Yeah.
So this is edgy comedian Dave Chappelle, who has no problem throwing trans people under the bus regularly, right? He only wants to punch down at this point. He can't. Yeah. He can't even with his own crowd who paid tickets to see him. He can't even get the balls to work with the crowd and rip into this guy who has a wealth of material to make fun of him with. He can't even stomach that because he's that much of a sycophant at this point in his life. And what's so weird too is that after the show, isn't that when Elon tweeted that stupid like anti-trans joke about how my pronouns
that might have been
are...
before he went to the show, so he was in a comedic mindset and then went to Chappelle that night. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, either way, they do have solidarity on hating trans people and using them as a punchline. Yeah. All right.
One wonders, like, just to spitball on that for a little bit, like, I've wondered why Matt Taibbi decided to get brave about speaking out about the trans issue last summer. You will note that Elon Musk was avidly consuming that content, and this is a conspiracy theory, but I often wonder if, like, they do this shit to demonstrate, like, I'm on side. Chappelle does 2 straight specials. The first special, it's like, okay, he's just applying his craft to this edgy issue. You do 2 in a row, and all of a sudden you're like going around with Joe Rogan. I just think like this group of people, whether or not they're whether it's groupthink or like actual like showing solid like a loyalty by throwing certain people under the bus, like it's disgusting.
I know, it's just I want to get to the point that I saw, because I haven't seen this full video at this point, where Elon tries to do comedy.
Oh, that's coming.
Okay, good.
I got that too.
Okay, good.
You niggas can move what you want. This nigga gave me a jetpack last Christmas. Fly right past your house, nigga. Move these nuts. You can fly my jetpack. That's how we like to chill. We do ball and shit.
Dang, what should I say?
You should have planned something.
Don't say nothing.
This is also so lazy.
It'll only spoil an omen. You hear that sound?
But like, you pay this much for a ticket, you're expecting like comedy. This is already 3 minutes. Like, that's a whole joke Dave didn't have to write for you.
Right? Yeah. I mean, exactly. And just roaming around on stage, spitballing.
Dang, what should I say?
Don't say nothing.
Okay.
It'll only spoil an omen. Do you hear that sound, Elon? That's the sound of pending civil unrest.
Pause it. He said that's the sound of pending civil unrest. You hear that, Elon? That's the sound of pending civil unrest. That's an interesting observation finally got there.
As Chappelle mocks them for being too poor to get the nice seats, to be able to pay $1,000.
Yeah, I mean, we know Chappelle will be in the coach with all the other elites when the civil unrest does come down.
I can't wait to see which story you decimate next, motherfucker. You shut the fuck up with your moves. There's something better than you can do. Who would have thought the best thing you can do? Try, nigga, to make it what you want it to be. I am your ally. I wish everybody...
Sorry, we gotta gotta just slow down in case people can't understand what he says. Like booing is not the best thing you can do, but like try to make it better, like try to improve the world. Actually, not what Elon's doing, in my opinion. I think people have given him too much of a free ride. Let's do electric cars. He's doing it in an extremely harmful way that is going to make it like still environmentally unsustainable.
Chappelle really should have just cut to the chase, got on his hands and knees, and asked Elon to put his boot right on his tongue.
Yeah.
In this auditorium, peace and the joy of feeling free, the pursuit of happiness make you happy. Amen. Thank you very much, San Francisco. No city on earth has ever been kinder like you. Good night.
This is the end.
Tap up with. Oh, is that it?
Keep going.
Oh yeah, I have the other one. Do you have that, Bradley?
This is what I like. This is what I saw. So I didn't even see this full video, but what I saw was an ill-fated attempt by Elon Musk. Yeah, to quote.
The famous,
right?
I can't even remember. Is it on the? Is it just the thing they say at the end of the episode over the production thing? I'm rich, bitch.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly. Right. I thought that it was a Cat Williams thing.
I can't remember.
Oh.
I thought it was. I thought it was like the thing where it was like Chappelle's production company, and at the end of the show.
Oh yeah.
And then they played over that.
That might be it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
No sound.
No sound.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to take that one again.
Jesus. Man.
It's just like it's how I felt with Kanye and Tucker and Kanye and who he started to hang out with. It's just beyond all of the other implications. It's just so fucking lame.
So lame.
It's so lame. You are hobnobbing with the richest asshole on earth and thinking it's subversive or funny or cool.
The only time
there's no utility to it.
The only time your money buying your way into like a cultural sort of space like this is when you're like 15 at a bar mitzvah or something like that, and like for some reason like Nicki Minaj is there, but this is just very strange. And that's the end of the show too.
Yeah,
that's the big finale. A little bit anticlimactic, I must say.
It just is. It is fascinating to see people who have cultural cachet, and Chappelle has been cool until recently.
Since at least Half Baked, I would say.
And so he has an understanding of like what it's like to just, I guess, have mass appeal, and then have so little fucking understanding about how cringy this guy is. Like, and you just see how being rich bitch to that degree just warps your brain. He has no connection to what people think is cool or resonates with them. He thinks that everybody in that audience should worship Elon Musk because he's an innovator and he's going to take us to Mars.
Because he has money.
Yeah. Where the rest of the world's laughing at you, bro.
Also, my big problem with this is like a lot of people have, anecdotally, I've just heard this a lot where it's like comedy is comedy is like supposed to be like, it's making fun of these things even if they might be offensive. There's a difference between being offensive and being subversive. Being offensive is not difficult. It's not smart. It's not usually intelligent. George Carlin wasn't just going up on stage and cursing and expecting a punchline. What he actually said was cutting and biting and intelligent and commenting on society, which is something that Dave Chappelle used to do on his own show.
Yeah.
And this is not that. This is not the same thing. Saying something that makes you sound like an asshole does not equal being funny.
Yeah, I mean, and being rich doesn't automatically make you interesting. or inherently worthy of attention. Elon Musk is like emotionally arrested, and we're supposed to find his 15-year-old Reddit bro or 4chan bro memes to be something revelatory. It's hilarious.
And like, there's a certain response, like, Elon is funny. I don't care what you guys say. And it's like, Elon, or no, sorry, not Elon. Elon is not funny. If you think Elon's funny, you need to like see like a brain doctor.
Yes.
Chappelle is, a comedian, and he's very good at his craft. But he is completely detached to the point where like he resigned himself, like, fine, motherfuckers, you pay me all that money. I can't imagine what kind of haul he takes from a stadium venue,
let alone his Netflix stuff.
That. I mean, and you get that kind of haul from people. Like every time we've done live shows, which is a much smaller take, but it's like, I'm grateful for that, and also actually meeting the people there.
Yeah.
And getting closer to like people. And for Chappelle, it's just like, well, fuck you guys then. Like,
yeah, I took your money already.
Yeah, he gave me a jetpack, and he's gonna like let me play the first comedy club on Mars. Which, by the way, who's going to be in the crowd for that? Like, this is the thing about space travel and this sort of fantasizing about like the other world thing. Like, screw this world, I'm going to the other one. Is there's nothing up there. It's like a desert.
There might be sharp objects up there which could puncture like their oxygen tank, and that would be fun for everybody.
Well, if I'm on Mars, like, kill me as soon as possible, because there's no Paris up there, there's no Madrid, there's no New York, there's nothing, there's no other people, there's no basketball, there's nothing up there.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Why are you trying to escape like where we have all this stuff?
Well, I mean,
Get away from those guys in the cheap seats.
Yeah, exactly, right? No booze for Elon on Mars.
And it's also weird, just Chappelle using the N-word to refer to Elon. Elon, a guy who has lawsuits against him for fostering extremely racist, particularly anti-black workplaces.
Let alone.
But but the guy like Chappelle does not give two fucks about that at all, if he even knows about it.
No, at least not anymore. That is bleak. That is bleak. All right, let's take a call.
So sorry, we just have an update here from Besitos de Almendra. I'm Rich Bitch Cake was from a skit in season 1 where black people were given reparations. Right, and it's a quick shot of Donnell Rawlings, cast member, yelling, "I'm Rich Bitch" into the camera. It was later used in credits. Right, it's from the reparations skit.
Yeah, which is
wow, that is
very funny.
Yeah.
Another layer. Calling.
I like to see Elon and Dave Chappelle talk about reparations behind the scenes.
Yeah, I want to be a fly on the wall for that. Punctured fantasy. Sending enough rockets to establish much of a colony on Mars would trash much of Earth's atmosphere. Yeah, I mean, they don't care about that. Elon Musk actively wants as many of his satellites in our orbit and doesn't care about any of the atmospheric ramifications or what might fall to the Earth.
Yeah, and the space debris is a big problem. There's a message, sort of comment I do want to respond to of, don't be anti-space because the research and stuff can help us down here. I think that is a generically true statement that was truer when we hadn't privatized all this shit. When NASA was coming up all this stuff, it's like, this is space age technology, and then capitalists like, that's a marketing thing and technology that I can use to make a product. Where now any sort of advances that SpaceX makes or these folks is proprietary. So I'm not going to encourage that at all. I don't think that's good. I think it's bad.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be trickle down. I think when these sorts of companies innovate, they're never going to do it in a way that's going to hurt their position.
And when were the largest leaps in space exploration innovation happening? Largely outside of private hands.
It was when the government decided.
It was when the government was. And so the rest of this is just laundering the nostalgia and the national pride from that moment into private pockets.
Yeah, it's just it's the technological fetishism of the space race without the collective buy-in.
Exactly. Yeah. Congressional baseball fan Emma, I can't believe you mentioned the Titanic while Sam is on a North Atlantic sea voyage with a bunch of old guys and old women. Hey. Jules Winfield, they were not booing, they were saying Twitter blue, Twitter blue.
Yeah, I'm Sunil. I'm from San Jose, California.
Gotcha.
And a friend of mine last minute got in touch with me, and he said he had an extra ticket, so I went. And I was not, nobody in the crowd was expecting Elon to come on stage, but what Matt said was so on point that it was the most, like, there was unclimactic AF. Like, it was, I was yelling in the crowd saying, would you just let him speak? He's done all this stuff to bring up all this social upheaval, and you're not letting him talk.
Yeah, he was just wandering around, and then he said, I'm rich, bitch. That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it. And it was like, I'm like, you have this platform, all these people, you did all this stuff. Would you just let him talk? And it was just, and Chappelle wouldn't just shut up and not make any jokes, jetpacks and whatever. And I'm like, come on, man.
He was just protecting him from the booze. That's what was the weirdest part of it.
Yeah, and like, you're going to get a show on Mars. Like, I don't care. Like, it was just so dumb. But
hey, Collar, can you give us an assessment of the breakdown? Were there your guess of how many people were booing versus how many people were cheering, and how that developed over the time?
It was, to be honest, I think 70% of the crowd was just booing him like crazy. But it depended on where you sat, because you could hear some of the boos, you couldn't hear some of it. The weird thing was I was surprised that the video actually got out, because everyone had their phones in those yonder bags.
Right.
And you couldn't have your phones in this.
Wait,
so
what? What are those?
Yeah, I
glass bags that they make you put. Sometimes if you go to an advanced screening for a movie or a play or something,
it's never happened to me.
They give you a sealed bag to put your phone in that they just keep.
The one time I've had this experience was at the Chappelle Chris Rock thing, and they had velvet bags at Radio City, and you put your phone in it, and you could only get it unlocked after the show.
I don't know how I feel about that, but anyway.
But I would say, I generally, I think, most comedians, you should show the respect of not recording their shit. If they're going to invite Elon Musk onto the stage, you record that.
Whoever did this was a hero. And by the way, I know blocked. Elon's been trying to take these videos off Twitter, so it's good to know.
Yeah.
The way he said, I'm rich, bitch, was the most awkward thing I've ever seen in my life.
Dude,
wow.
One, I also am just curious what the show was like in the lead up to Elon coming on. Were there a lot of anti-trans jokes? What was the material?
So he really stayed off of the anti-trans stuff. And it was just Chappelle's set was just him, it was anecdote after anecdote after anecdote. That's how his set went. But Chris Rock in the former part of the set was really good, and what he was saying was really a lot more relevant than I felt what Dave Chappelle had to say.
That was my experience a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard. One, I've seen a streaming special of Chris Rock stand up, and it's great. But I've heard pretty much only good things about seeing him live. I didn't know that they were touring together, but anyway. That's crazy. That explains
the ticket price a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so no, I just had to call in because I was just, I was there at the show last night, and I couldn't believe that everyone was talking about it this morning. So,
and I know that you got brought along, so you didn't pay for your ticket, but looking at those ticket prices, people were paying hundreds of dollars for nosebleeds, right?
Yeah, and my friend called me up, and I said hey, can I can I give you some money for this? I can't imagine what it cost you. So I was just bending over backwards trying to help him out, and someone didn't want to put him out. So no, it was packed to the brim, and it was just I heard what Matt said what the ticket prices were. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Nuts.